This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you for joining me in our third video. And the title of this video in the series is called Base Currency and Quote Currency. Please read this risk disclaimer. I'll give you a few seconds and then we'll continue with the presentation. Okay, thanks very much. Now, we know from the last video that currencies are always quoted in pairs, and this is necessary because it gives the exchange, because the exchange gives the currency meaning. So we know in the example of pound to the US dollar or the US dollar to the Japanese yen, exactly which currency is being valued against which currency, right? Now, let's take a look closer at the pound US dollar. So over here we can see GBP is measured against the US dollar, and it's actually called cable. And the reason it's called cable is because in the 19th century there was a cable between the UK and New York, and that's how the currencies were valued, being communicated through this cable. Now, take a look. Pound GBP is the first currency and USD or the US dollar is the second currency. So the first currency is always called the base currency and the second currency is always called the quote currency. So in this example, pound is the base and the US dollar is the quote. And it's very important to know that the base currency is always going to be equal to 1. So when we're looking at a currency pair, we are looking at the value of the quote currency to a value of 1 in the base currency. So let's look at this a little bit more closely and we'll take a look at a chart. And here we're looking at the US dollar to the rand, and you can see we've got 3 different levels denoted by the green, orange, and red. And at the green level, the US dollar, which is the base currency, is equal to 1, and the rand is equal to around 12 Rand 50. So $1 is equal to 12 Rand 50. When we look at the orange lines, $1 is equal to 13 Rand. And when we look at the red lines, $1 is effectively equal to about 13 Rand 75. So we can see that the base currency is getting stronger to the quote currency because it's costing more rands for $1. So when we see a chart that is moving in a northeasterly direction, just like this chart, it is showing the base currency is strengthening. And if there is a downwards trend, in other words, it's moving southeasterly, then the base is weakening against the quote. That's where we're going to leave it for this video. Thanks very much, and I look forward to talking to you in our next video in the series.